Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Iru Fernando. I'm a general and addiction psychiatrist, and this is Shrink Wrapped. My friends, I'm gonna be totally honest with you right now. I am outraged after seeing a segment from Rising on the Hill.
I wanted to bring you some pretty stunning comments from Dr. Anthony Fauci, who basically just admitted why and how the government lied to us about the efficacy of wearing masks. Let's take a listen as he explains the real reason they told us not to do that.
What about a month or so, or 2 or 3 ago, when people were saying, you don't really need to wear a mask? Well, the reason for that is that we were concerned, the public health community, and many people were saying this, were concerned that it was at a time when personal protective equipment, including the N95 masks and the surgical masks, were in very short supply. And we wanted to make sure that the people, namely the healthcare workers, who were brave enough to put themselves in harm's way to take care of people who were infected with the coronavirus and the danger of them getting infected, we did not want them to be without the equipment that they needed.
Now, if you recall, as COVID was ramping up in March, the United States government, along with the CDC, was telling us that masks really doesn't need to be worn. In fact, there was even reports out there saying that masks might be even more harmful for individuals. I'm going to tell you a true story about a group of physicians in the United States of America. These physicians are going to remain nameless. Now, these physicians were watching very closely how other countries around the world were dealing with COVID. And the one thing that they realized was that masks were very, very effective in reducing the spread. So they went to their hospital administrators and told them that they needed to make sure that employees and also patients had access to masks. So does anyone want to guess what happened next? Basically, these doctors were originally ignored. Their pleas were unheard. As they got more and more aggressive in their tactics to get the hospital to change their policy, they went and asked the staff, what exactly was the administrators telling them? And it turns out that not only were they not given masks, but they were told that if they were to wear their own mask in the hospital, that they may face termination. Let me say that one more time for all of you. If frontline hospital staff were to wear their own masks, they were at risk of being fired from their job. So when the doctors asked, why was this happening? They pointed to the guidance from the CDC, saying, well, if they tell the public that masks aren't really required, then why should the hospital staff be any different? These doctors were told that if employees were allowed to wear masks, then, it might actually increase the worries of the patients and other staff members. And soon you might have a bunch of employees and staff asking for masks to be given to them. And then remember that this would have to be done at the cost of the hospital. So we certainly can't have anything to increase their budget. So after weeks of aggressive pushback, finally the hospital allowed their employees to bring their own masks to work. Now, what should the CDC have done differently?
If they had just been honest with Americans and said, hey, please don't buy a mask right now. We need the masks, all the professional masks for professionals. Make one out of a towel that you have laying around, an old towel, cut it up. We'll show you how to do it. Fine.
Right.
Who would not have done that? I would have done it. So would have millions of other Americans.
Right.
Now, what I want people to do is take this one story I told you and multiply that by the thousands of other hospitals that may have done the exact same thing. Let alone the fact that there's millions of Americans that heard that advice from the CDC and continue to believe that it's unnecessary to wear masks when in public. And now let me be clear, I don't personally agree that the government should be enforcing people to wear masks. Why not? Well, let's talk about how that would happen. It would be the police that are enforcing those laws, wouldn't it? Well, for the police and our sake, I do not believe police officers should be the ones having to enforce people to wear masks in public. No, my plea is for every American out there to wear a mask when they're in public. I know they're uncomfortable, but maybe we can make it into a fashion statement. Because at the end of the day, you wearing a mask can not only save yourself, but it could save your family and save this community as well. United States of America has the highest death toll in the whole world due to COVID. As of today, June 18, 2020, we have 120,000 people died from COVID. That means 120,000 families have been ripped apart because of the loss of their loved one. We can do this if we work together and we all have shared responsibility, because the reality is every day the numbers are increasing and most likely we're gonna see another surge of cases come our way. And so remember that this is the first pandemic in modern history and most likely will not be our last. We need to have trust in our government so that when something like this happens again, that we are led in the right direction and that we can all save lives together. Thank you again for checking out this video. If you liked it or didn't like it, please let me know. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video if you thought it would help someone else. Thank you so much.